Hello and welcome to the Real Tree Shakers Show. I am Ryan.
And I am Trenton.
And I'm Sean. We thank y'all for listening today as we go through the world of sports, entertainment, life, food, top fives, running backs. We'll see what we get into. So, welcome back, guys. How
You
we
never
doing?
know.
That last episode was pretty good, I think.
Yes,
Good
it
time.
was somewhat normal.
Somewhat normal,
I would,
kind of, yeah.
I would feel like it
Yes,
was. I feel like it was borderline normal. Yeah. So say somewhat. I agree.
Somewhat.
there you go.
Dot.
Yes, for sure.
So, we'll try to do somewhat better on this episode. If you missed it, last episode we went over the quarterback on Netflix series, which we all thoroughly have enjoyed to this point. You guys need to catch up and finish it. It
Yes.
ends really cool. Kind of jaw drop a little bit, but I won't give any spoilers. But that's what the internet's for. And then we also hit up on the Major League
Airplane mode,
Baseball
please.
trading deadline. You're in
Yes.
airplane mode?
I would tell it Ryan.
Oh, okay. But, the big question, Otani's on the board. Is he on the board? On the block, I guess?
Okay.
We don't know. And then we went over the Madden ratings, which I think the guys at EA Sports should watch more. These ratings, but that's for another day. But I think, guys, let's just jump in right away. Here's
Sure.
our top five. And this week, we're going to do top five ballpark foods. So, Mr.
Yummy.
Anderson, why don't you start us?
Yes. Okay, so I'll just mention some quick honorable mentions. Which I know I always have this because I love to eat, I love food, I love baseball, so it's perfect.
Now hold up.
Some
Now hold
honor.
up. Now when we say
Yes.
food, are we talking about? Are we talking about like snacks as well? Just overall, just something to eat at the game,
Yes.
right?
Anything.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Anything.
Yes.
Just want to make sure.
I will say I did not include beer. I know beer, some people consider it a food, but I didn't put beer.
Yeah.
So, but beer would be tops for sure. But just saying, so I did not include beer. But
Yeah,
yes,
that
it
was
would be up
my
there.
that was my number one as well.
But
So
okay, we'll hear the rest. But okay, so
I'd rather not eat
some
beer.
I do prefer to drink it, but still. So
yeah, frozen beer is not very good.
No.
yeah. So some ones I did not make my top five, but I still consider good. Cracker Jacks. And
What?
really the older Cracker Jacks, the newer ones, they kind of suck. I don't know if y'all had them in a while, but they suck now. Popcorn, French fries, cheeseburger, cotton candy. Those did not make my top five, but they're all foods I thoroughly enjoy in a game. So, number five, I kind of put it all in one group: ice cream, lemon chill, slush, whatever you want to call it. You eat it with a spoon. So, I would say,
anything cold with a spoon you eat.
yeah,
That's going under that list.
yes,
Okay.
yes, Dippin' Dots, whatever you want to call it. So, but I do enjoy that. Number four, peanuts.
Okay.
So I know a lot of people might think that's low. Peanuts, I do like them. They're great with everything, but not my top. Still enjoy them. Three, chicken fingers, chicken strips, whatever you want to call them. I don't know why. The ballpark, it's just a banging food. It's a good finger food to eat while you're watching the game. I don't know. I just love it. Dip it in some good spicy ranch or good honey mustard. They're delicious.
Honey mustard all day.
No, there you go.
Totally agree.
Two, nachos. I mean, we know how much we all love chips, so nachos at a baseball game,
What?
amazing. Yeah. And then number one,
That's American.
yeah, right. Number one, hot dog.
It's
So
America. It's America.
nothing like a dog and a beer. I mean, it's every
All right.
game I've been to that I've been an adult or 21 and up. I don't think I've never gone without getting a dog and a beer. So
Yeah.
it's
What's on your hot dog?
mustard,
Woo.
onions if they got it, if they're
Yeah.
fresh. Relish sometime depends. I usually don't put
Dog with
ketchup,
mustard and
but
relish.
I would say, yeah, mustard, onions, and relish. I don't mind a
Okay.
chili cheese dog every once in a while too.
Oh, hell yeah.
Actually, I have
But
those tonight.
yeah, there you go. See,
Nice.
so
Just trying to get in the right frame of mind.
there you go. Exactly.
So,
So
all right. That's a pretty dope list. And your honorable mentions were pretty good. That was a good top 5 in itself.
well, thank you.
So these lists are tough to do. So
Very. They involve
Alright.
food. It's hard.
all right. So recap. Ryan at 5's got the slushy icy, right?
Yes.
Peanuts, chicken strips with honey mustard.
Or
Honey
ranch.
mustard or spicy ranch. That's right.
Spicy
Nachos
ranch. Yes.
and a hot dog.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Not bad. Not bad. All right, Mr. T. Number.
Let's see here.
Pity the fool.
I pity the fool who won't mess my list.
I pity the fool who don't pick my peanuts.
They'll be messing my Cracker Jacks either, because I crack your jack. You know what I mean?
Crack your jack, fool.
Yeah, so a couple of honorable mentions, I guess. Much like Ryan, I'd say popcorn. Something about stadium popcorn. I mean, and you can put that at baseball or say a football game or a basketball game. It's just something about that stadium popcorn. It's just really good. I don't know. It's different than movie popcorn, but it's salty in that bag, whichever it may be. It's easy to munch on. So, but
Yeah.
it'll fill you up for a short period of time. So it's kind of hard to make that list for my personal self. And then I'd say the same thing, but cheeseburgers, barbecue sandwiches, like whatever particular state and area you're in, just those kind of sandwich deals. I'm sure California's probably got some healthy, nice avocado wraps or whatever they're going to do.
Avocado toast. Come
Yeah.
on.
Avocado
toast.
Yeah, whatever exactly they do in that particular side. No,
fish
no,
tacos.
exactly. I'm sure maybe there's some fish. I mean, I'm sure there's something like that. And no knock to it. I haven't experienced that. Not saying that I actually will go eat that when I go to a game. But yeah, something along the lines of that. And then yes, French fries, cheese fries, something along the lines of that. Tater tots. Maybe even go as far as like a Frito pie option if they have something like that. But I'd rather just add all that to my nachos, which brings me to my next point. Actually, not at all. My number 5 is going to be my number 5 is going to be peanuts and Cracker Jacks all in one, because I kind of like going to a game, and once you get there, I guess you can probably even throw popcorn in there. I can take that off the honorable mention. Just something to snack on when you kind of get there, walk into, carry around. Easy to eat, easy to kind of lug around at times in case you go into the merch stores or whichever it may be. Plus, if you leave it behind, you usually eat most of it, so screw it. But peanuts sitting there in the first couple of innings, man, I'm not opposed to that at all. I mean, maybe even some sunflower seeds. But you don't want to be spitting those suckers all over someone's nice hairdo in front of you.
Or choke
Or
on
do
them.
you?
Yeah.
Or do you? Maybe they're a Mets
Maybe
fan.
so.
Maybe they're a Mets fan. They might deserve some nuts.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, some seeds in the back of their head. Whoops. I got number 4. I'm gonna go with ice cream. I think it's just a fun snack. It's ice cream. I mean, much like Ryan, he said about anything cold like that, but I'm not a big fan of Dippin' Dots, I can honestly say. But so I'd rather go with an ice cream of some sort, or something frozen like that along those lines, and nice and refreshing. And you usually have that after some of these other snacks. Three, I'm gonna go pizza. Now that door is gonna be left a little open based on what pizza it is. Now, if it's some kind of Papa John's or something like that, you can get out of here with that. Like, I'm gonna completely pass on that. But if you get some of those like random good, just overall slices of pie, man, they're just sometimes really solid, and they just really hit the spot at times, especially when you're drinking beer, especially after walking around or doing whatever it be. But yeah, just something about a good old slice of pepperoni, like in the seventh inning after the beer sales and stuff are done. Yeah, 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 tasty stuff.
What if they
Number
sold
two,
cold pizza?
go ahead.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
What if they sold cold pizza at the ballpark?
I would still buy it and eat it.
Absolutely.
What's on your
pizza's fine.
pizza? What's
For
on your
myself,
pizza?
my
Yeah.
favorite pizza.
Yeah.
I like to keep it classic, just do a pepperoni like extra cheese. But
What about at the ballpark though?
just keep
At
it
the
simple.
ballpark, what are
Just
you getting?
just keep it
Okay.
simple. Yeah, keep it simple.
Okay.
You're gonna try to go eat all that. It's probably gonna like fold over or something like that. You're gonna lose it.
Yeah.
Nah. Just give me that thing. Let me fold it in half real quick. We good. I'll start walking and talking. So,
Yeah.
number
There you
two,
go.
I have nachos. There's not much to say.
Yeah.
Everybody loves nachos. Easy to eat. You can make them all different ways. But I will say, you have to have the jalapenos. Have to have the
Yes.
jalapenos with them.
Definitely.
Something about those pickled jalapenos with that cheese. And you think it's going to be super hot, people. It's not. It's just simple flavoring. It's not going to light you up. I promise you. I'll Stephen A. Smith you right now.
Oh, yeah.
But I would say add a little chili on those nachos too. It'll take you a long ways.
Oh, for sure. Yes, definitely.
And then of course number
But,
one.
hold on. With nachos, the only complaint I have, more cheese on more chips, not just cheese in the middle. Anyways.
I
Yeah.
agree. I
Layer them.
agree.
I want to make them myself and layer them.
Yeah.
That's how I do it. I
Yeah.
spread them
Yeah,
out. I take the time and make sure every chip has
Yep.
cheese.
And then
No
give me an
lip-
extra
no
and then give me an
chips
extra
left
side of
out.
the cheese so I can still dip them in there for the ones I missed. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And then of course number one, the given obvious, and that's gonna be pretzels. So I'm kidding. It's a hot dog.
Ooh.
Like,
I was like, okay.
now, I mean, come on now. Hot dog's a hot dog. I don't care what they're made out of,
Yeah.
people. I don't care what they all say. No matter different stadiums and styles, however they top theirs or whatever. It's just awesome. And it's kind of like a classic kind of thing. Sometimes there's nothing better than a hot dog and a beer or a hot dog and a Coke. Like,
Yeah.
even though I don't drink those anymore, but still, I would probably drink a Coke at that game or at a game for
What's
sure or
that?
something,
What's the Alabama song? We like our hot dogs with mustard and relish.
Mustard and relish. Yeah,
Our beers flat as can be.
So what do you put on your hot dog, T?
I keep it simple. I'm a mustard guy. You get out of here with the mayo. I'd actually will put ketchup on there at times. Just mustard. And relish, I would say every once in a while. But I just keep it just mustard or ketchup.
What about jalapenos?
Yes.
If they have them available,
It depends on the situation because if you had a couple beers and you've already had something and then you've had this and you add that stuff to it, you're not trying to go into the seventh inning stretch, if you know what I mean. Like, you have to go.
I want to have some good dust.
Yeah, well, you're gonna be doing more than dust. You're gonna be in that line praying like you better get out of the way, and then you gotta get in there, and it's gonna be a wreck.
Right.
Well, that at the seventh inning stretch, that dust would help get those sunflower seeds out of that person's hair.
That is true.
True.
That is true.
That's
Like I have their own personal, like I have their own little personal fan behind them.
Eat that, youth of America. That's multitasking right there.
Right.
How was the game, honey? Oh, it's fine. There was a nice fan just blowing on the back of my neck there, holding my hair everywhere. It's great.
It was just random. It would just come and go.
Yeah.
Coming down really.
It felt like it was coming at different angles too. So I
Right.
just didn't know.
But I will
All
say
right.
though, a chili dog is like so hard to not get at one of those games. They're just you have to kind of sit down somewhere else and eat that sucker, if not stand, because
Yeah.
you're gonna take that thing back down to your seat and you're gonna sit down and you're gonna get after that thing. And then here comes someone that's gonna get up and get a beer or have to go somewhere. It's gonna happen. You're gonna drop it. You're not gonna enjoy it. And so nah. Eat that sucker up there by the concession stand, and then get down there and dust away. But
There you go.
yeah, that's my 5.
Very nice. All right, so peanuts, Cracker Jacks, popcorn, you all grouped in at 5. Ice cream.
Yes.
Are you
Yes.
doing like ice cream cone or ice cream like sundae with fudge and
Ooh.
sprinkles?
Yeah.
If they have a waffle cone, I'm doing cone. If not, I'm doing a little sundae kind of thing. But I'm probably doing
And
the
then-
sundae.
You know what they
inside.
do?
I'm probably
You know
doing
what
the
I see
sundae
them do? They
inside
put
the
it
waffle.
in one of those little mini helmets too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
There you
yeah.
They put them a lot of times in those little mini
But
helmets.
if I get a waffle cone like on the side of one of them helmets like that, I'm all in.
No
Yeah.
doubt. All right, so then 3 we have pizza, pepperoni, nachos,
Yes.
evenly covered chips, please, and the good old hot dog.
Yes.
So, all right, so now I guess it's to me. So,
Yes.
Man, now I'm hungry for a hot dog.
all right, so my
Right.
quick honorable mentions: cotton candy, not really into that. For the kids, yeah, sure. Fries and popcorn were my honorable mentions. I love popcorn just as a snack, but at the ball game, I don't know, not as appeasing. But at 5 for me, I have a chili dog. Um,
Huh?
mustard, chili, onions. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big eater at ball games. I don't know, something about being there and just getting into the game. That's why I was disappointed that Ryan took beer off the list because that kind of broke my whole thing. Because
Well, half the experience is the food, man.
yeah, because I mean, you could take a quick sip in between pitches, right? But you can't take a quick bite in between pitches because you could choke. Because Ronald Acuna could hit one over the fences.
You take a bite in between batters.
He's got a point.
Yeah, whatever. This is my top
You-
5. Okay.
You eat a chip while you watch them. See?
This is my top 5, okay?
Whatever. 5 is a hot dog. Assholes. Maybe I'll just
Okay.
maybe I'll just put cotton candy there.
So, what if they don't have chili? Will you eat a dog with just mustard on it?
Then that's where
Mustard
I go
and
relish onions. So
Yeah.
Okay.
Copy
all
that.
a hot dog with ketchup and cheese is good too.
Yes, that's very true.
That's my kid's favorite.
Yep, Emma's too.
Ketchup and cheese.
Yep, that's all.
That's why you have to use to get multiple. It sucks because it definitely hurts the wallet, especially at a ballpark.
Sure.
Yep, and you can't really smuggle those in. So at 4, I have Cracker Jacks. I totally agree with Ryan that they're not what they used to be.
Yeah.
But what is in the snack world? But
True.
growing up, yeah, Cracker Jacks was a must for
Yeah.
a football game. Just
Too bad
simple,
they didn't swap it out
but-
for Crunch and Munch. Crunch and Munch is good.
Yeah, I
Different,
agree.
a little bit different flavor and all, but like that would be a nice option though as well.
But yeah, I love the during the Braves games, during the 7th inning stretch, the announcers throw Cracker Jacks from the broadcast booth to the fans.
Oh, that's
So,
slick. I didn't know that.
Yeah. They load them up with like tons and tons, and Brandon Gaudin, and if Jeff Francoeur or Pete Moylan or Nick Green are in there doing the commentary, that's what they do during the 7th inning stretch. So
Oh, that's
gives,
cool. Heck yeah.
They
it's
throw
got-
loose Cracker Jacks are like boxes of them.
Yeah, boxes of them.
Oh, okay, I thought you meant they just opened
Yeah.
a box and
Start
Yeah,
shaking it
here
out.
you go.
Imagine Jeff Francoeur throwing Cracker Jacks at a little
Get out of the way! Here
2-year-old.
comes my Cracker Jack. They
He's
better
wearing
be
a Mets
careful, man.
shirt.
You're gonna
Throw
poke
extra
someone's eye
peanut
with
at
one of those
him.
boxes. I wonder how many people have
Guarantee
been.
a kid has been hit with a box.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Guarantee a kid's
I was
been
gonna
hit
say. I
with a
wonder how many
box.
people have been taken out by it. You know, like hey, you know, like oh
I'm
god,
sure there's a lawsuit
Jimmy.
coming because someone
Yeah.
lost a grip on a Cracker Jack box. But anyways, so at number 3, I have nachos. Of course, with like we have discussed, every chip covered, jalapenos. T, you're right. There's some that cheese and the jalapenos. It just oozes into each other, and it just makes a perfect bite. So at number 2, I will go with soft baked pretzels. You know, can't go wrong with those. Nice, soft, salty. Dip them with cheese sauce or the mustard, or just by themselves. I mean, and it's quick snack food, so you get right back into it in between batters. So, unless
Pretzels are good. Pretzels are good.
I mean, it's
I don't eat them
those.
often, but they are good though.
Yeah, that's one of those things I could just one after another, and they don't really fill up unless you just stop eating them, you know, and then let everything expand.
You gotta stop.
Yeah. So
No.
that is my number 1 ballpark food is peanuts.
I like it.
Interesting.
I love baseball and peanuts. There's no better combo. So I remember
It's fun sitting there watching the game and just chowing through those things.
Yeah. Well, I remember the first time I went with my father-in-law, brother-in-law, and his kids, and my son, and we went to the Nationals and Braves games up in D.C. And first time Jack had been, and by like the second inning, this kid is just covered in pretzel shells. Like, didn't even like
peanut shells. You mean
peanut shells? Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't swipe any of them off, like until he was done with the bag of them, man, and then just peanut dust and shells.
Made you proud.
Oh man,
made you proud.
Like I don't even think he watched any of the game, but I know he thoroughly enjoyed his freaking peanuts.
They just something about them. They're good.
And the
just
Braves
great.
won that game too, so it was pretty good.
They taste a lot better at the
Hey, guess
ballpark.
what? California has too.
Say what?
They have unshelled peanuts.
Fancy.
So you don't have to shell them. It's California.
Yeah.
Well, that's not fun.
Avocado.
I know, right?
Avocado toast peanuts.
Just roasted peanuts.
Roasted or boiled. Boiled peanuts.
Oh, there are some people out there loving some boiled peanuts.
I can't do
it. I can't say I'm one of them.
I don't do it. Yeah, not me.
Mm-mm. Absolutely not. All right, so that's our top 5 ballpark foods.
Hope it made you hungry. Made myself hungry. That's for sure.
Yeah, made me hungry.
Yeah, that and something else has made me hungry throughout this evening.
Right.
So,
was it work? Work made you hungry?
Absolutely, yes.
Yes.
This is the hardest I've worked today, so I'm okay with that.
It couldn't have been that.
Yeah, beer would have been my number 1. You know,
when that
beer would have been 1.
Beer would have been 1 because beer and baseball go hand in hand.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, definitely so.
For $15 a pop, you know, and you got to sip on it, and it's warm and 2 innings, you know.
Man, I'm telling you that Leinenhagel at the Braves Field, man, it's awesome. It was Lucan Keigel, yeah.
Summer
$7 for the 24-ounce cans.
Well, we'll be there broadcasting for that.
Yes.
Next year. So
yes, for sure.
Our Lucan guy will be there for sure.
Yes.
All
We'll be
right,
a little
guys. So
bit.
moving along, as we touched upon earlier in the last episode, the value of the running back and where it has gone
Yes.
in the last couple years. It's kind of insane to think that when you're some teams, it's like your best player, and it's
Most
like,
youth player for
Yes.
sure.
I mean, it's like, are you a positionless player, kind of like the NBA, where you got a lot of positionless players now, but they're still carrying the ball like 250 plus times, plus blocking, plus, receiving. Uh, so they get hit the most. But why do you guys think that the value of them has gone down?
Um,
I think it's lifespan of them. I mean, you get 3 or 4 good years out of them, and I mean, that's kind of been the norm for a long time, really. Um, Owners don't want to give them guaranteed money, so that's definitely changed. You see quarterbacks play longer, running backs play shorter. So I think that's why they get the big money. Um, the games has changed. It's a passing league now. It's running back by committee, not running back by one guy. So I can't think of one team that the running back gets over 350 carries anymore when there used to be 10 to 15. Half the teams in the league had a running back that got over 350 carries a year. Now, no team has a running back that gets over 350 carries a year. So that's I mean that's just what I think. It's just running back by committee now, and so the running back value is taking a huge hit. You know, so how
I
about you, T?
I mean, I don't disagree at all. I think that certain certain offensive protocols or not protocols, I'm sorry, but play calls and stuff like that, or certain offensive coordinators out there in certain franchises, like their first go to is run the ball, and so whether it's a passing league or not, or has developed into a passing league, um, you know those the RBs are still looked at a lot as like they're the rough hard yards to get to try to keep stuff that going. Um, and then you start playing into like weather games and stuff like that. You take a nasty day up in New England or Buffalo. You can take that passing game out of the equation. I mean, at least as far as some like the deep stuff, maybe a fast offense or something like that.
Sure. Wasn't
And
that
so
that game last year up in Buffalo where New England only threw the ball like what, 3 times? Remember
the
that
Yeah,
last year, the
that
year before
game?
with the win,
yeah,
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah, the huge win. But
The win, yeah, it was 2 years ago if I'm not mistaken. But I think again, I think this factors into the like certain schemes, certain franchises for them. And if you look at some of these guys that are kind of speaking out, they have kind of been the workhorses for their particular offenses, and I could see why they want to be signed to have more money to be protected for and things like that. I totally get it. I don't like the fact that some of the I guess the owners or whoever you want to look at that do their contracts and things like that. I don't like that they're just kind of like, oh, you don't like that? Well, cool, we'll just move on kind of thing. But it is more of like a running back by committee unless you just have that dominant horse. And even if you do, if you look at some of these other a lot of the teams, they have that second running back that can catch the ball, run the ball, maybe do something that primary first running back can't. And they think of like fresh legs and stuff like that too. So I I get why some of these guys are upset in their certain positions. I understand why Jacobs is a little upset and maybe not reporting, but And same thing when Saquon didn't. But you should take the money while it's there because I don't know if it's going to get any better. I don't like the situation, so to say, but I would take it. I would take it. I think there is solutions to them. I just don't necessarily know what they are. But it would be nice to see them kind of get some guaranteed money first coming out. I mean, they're playing in college for say 2 to 3 years, maybe even like 4 years of it, and they're carrying the ball a lot for some of those teams, and they're using that body. So it would be nice if they got a little of that more of a, Bijan got a little something, to start with. So that's not a bad little start versus just say a couple $100,000. So, but I don't know what the solution is to it, but again, they should be looked at a higher value than I think they actually are. But there is question on the longevity, and you're just looking at natural injuries out there that can happen without anybody tackling you. So you just take the physical part into it. It's definitely a risky play, but you should treat those guys with respect no matter what, though. That's what I think. So.
Oh, for sure. I mean, so like Ryan was saying about 350 carries. Henry had 349 last year.
I was going to say,
he led the league.
His career high is 378. Josh Jacobs had 340.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean,
they're closing in on it, but
again, though, it's just one of those.
I think one thing you see, I was going to say that one thing you see is that they do they run out the rookie contract. They get the franchise tag, and they're like, okay, done. 5 years, we're good. You're not going to be any good anymore. Zeke is 2 years removed from having 1,300 or 1,400 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that was 2 years ago, and no one wants him.
Right.
And no one wants him.
Jerry Jones was stupid and gave him that extension, like 2 years left on his original deal.
Yeah,
and they paid him that big money. So,
but I also wouldn't compare Zeke to any of these other guys, though. You know what I mean? Like, I know he had a great year a couple years back, but like he also had a heck of an offensive line, man. Like, I mean, who couldn't run behind that though? I don't know.
Point.
But I wouldn't compare Zeke to Jacobs or a Henry, a Saquon or anything like that. Like I never even thought he was really that to start with, but he was solid.
You think he should have a job in the NFL?
Yes, there's a role for him for sure. I mean, you get down inside the 20, you get down inside the 10 to say goal line area and all that power back kind of run. Yeah, he'll power through some people and get down there. If your goal is to score touchdowns, then he's got to roll somewhere. Yes, I think starter. No, not unless some kind of crazy injuries.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think it's tough for them because they touch the ball the second most on the field next to the quarterback. So, but yet they take the most punishment. So, and they usually lead your team in total yardage from scrimmage. Usually score the most touchdowns.
Especially against the ball.
Right. So, and that's increased over the last few years, throwing to running back. So it's like all these touches, all this production, plus pass blocking too. They got to take on linebackers that have like a 7-yard head start that just plow into these guys. And
that's very true.
Very true. Four or five guys hitting them in the hole, 4 or 5 guys laying on top of them, and it's just. So, I mean, that's where I get where I think they should be paid more, right around the Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry range. But, yeah, like the longevity isn't there. It's weird because back all the guys a few years ago, Emmitt Smith, he played forever. But, some do, some don't. But I don't know. It's just weird. And I know they keep having these, Zoom meetings to discuss the value, but what can they do? I mean, all running backs go on strike?
This isn't the NBA. The players have no control.
Yeah.
No, not until like 2030, I think,
Yeah,
when the when the CBA
and
runs
even
out.
then, I still wonder about that. Then who knows? It's the owners have all the power in the NFL by far.
Yep, hands down they do.
So
The old crazy Ursay even
So-
said himself the other day. So as nutty as he is, he had a good point. Like they're not gonna go back.
which I mean, I don't know how much I agree with that, with the owners being in charge that much. I get it because I look at what company do you go to, and the employees have all the power. What company do you work at, and an owner does not have, that owns the place you work at does not have the power,
Right.
But
Right.
yet in the NBA, the players have all the power. Well, if I was an owner, I'd say F it. We'll just lose. I don't care. Forget it. That's how the player. I do think the owners should be the ones in charge. They're the billionaires putting up all the money,
Right.
and I know a lot of people think that's probably not a very popular outlook on it. But I mean, they put the money up. I get it. The players sacrifice, and they should be rewarded for what they do.
Sure.
There's no doubt.
I get
There's
that.
no doubt.
I get that.
But
They sign the checks.
Yeah, but they signed the checks. They put their billions of dollars into this league. The
Sure.
players didn't.
But I mean, as an owner, just because you own the team, do you know the football aspect?
Exactly.
It's like since Jerry Jones took over, we all know the history of the Cowboys. Since he
Sure.
became GM. But I think you hire football people to do football things. Yeah,
for sure.
You would definitely throw in your say, like if there's a big time prospect, and
Sure.
because
Sure.
you're ultimately you're signing the checks, your name's on that. But I think I don't know. It's tough for these running backs. I mean, nothing's going to change, and like you said, billionaires are tight with their money, and it's like
Sure.
that's like why maybe teams don't win, because their owners
Right.
are tight. It's like the Golden State Warriors. Like, how many years have they paid that huge luxury tax?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they
Forever.
won championships, or they've
Yeah.
been in contention. Other than that couple of years ago when everybody was hurt. But
Right.
no, I mean, they talk about making money and wanting to make money or save money. Well, if you win, you make more money. You have more exposure. Your brand grows. So it's like, the Cowboys valued it like $8 million plus or $8 billion plus. Imagine if they won another Super Bowl. God,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I would never hear the end of that, but
Yeah, I'm not
I
sure.
am
Not
proud.
trying to think of that ever happening. That is for sure.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Here, let me
Yeah.
try. Let me try. It's not. No.
I would say that I'm definitely pro player. I agree. I mean, the players should
Definitely.
get paid, but I understand where they're coming from because hey, I mean it's just like
It's still a business.
it's still a business, yeah, $1 billion business, and you're running it, and you're the CEO of it, and you're the owner of it. So your job is to make money, not lose it. So
Right.
you've got to make the right choices to make money. So
Sure. But I mean, think about, like we've been talking about Mahomes when he retires. If they win a couple more Super Bowls, like
sure.
how much is the value of Kansas City
Oh, huge.
in the middle of America?
Well, if the Commanders just went for $6 billion,
right.
what would the Cowboys sell for? I'm not trying to be a Cowboys lover, but I mean,
No,
10
I bet
billion,
you. Well,
Probably.
I mean, now with the Saudis,
12 billion.
Maybe more.
Someone from Saudi Arabia is going to come in and offer like $3 billion for a team, and it's just like, who's going to compete for that? But yeah,
$3 billion. Oh, they'll have to pay more than that. The Commanders just went for $6
Yeah.
billion.
Oh yeah, you're right. So
$6
maybe
billion.
like 10, yeah.
$10 billion. Yeah, that's what it'll
I mean,
take.
you're offering $1 billion for Mbappe to play
for one player.
Yeah.
One player.
Yeah. I mean, Messi and Ronaldo. It's crazy.
Serious old money.
But yeah, I'm with you. The players, they put their bodies on the line.
Sure.
One wrong hit or, there's another DeMar Hamlin incident like last year. You never know what could happen. Plus, after they,
Right.
post career, if anything
Yeah.
surfaces with that. But yeah, I mean, everybody should get a cut of the pie for sure, especially
Is
with how much.
there anything they can do in their in say like their rookie contracts when they're can they put in those little bonus numbers and stuff like that? Not, I guess
The incentives.
yeah, like incentives.
Incentives, you mean?
Yeah, I guess that wouldn't be fair for all of them because of like playing time and stuff like that. But it's like if you went out there and if you just say like for example, if you got the starter job and that was some of those incentives were in your contract, I think that could be some extra money too that they could gain. And
Sure.
it wouldn't be guaranteed money, but at the same time, it would make some of those incentives somewhat reachable. Give them I don't know, give them 100,000 if they can reach like 750 yards or something, or something like that, or
Yeah.
if they score 5 touchdowns or just little things like that to where they'll be motivated, I think, but also like it might help with just some of that extra money maybe they're looking for. And I mean, I know some of this stuff is like, I don't know exactly what those numbers, those running backs are looking for, but like I know the difference between, or not difference, but I know there wasn't much money difference between a couple of these contracts, and so I get it, but Ryan's right though too, I guess you guys are both right. It's like with the owners, they want to make sure that they have a solid, they want to make sure their money's not just being wasted. But again, how much football do they know? It's just like they hear someone say, "Hey, we're this guy, blah blah. I like this guy. We're locking him up." It's like, well, who's in his ear? I mean, this could be just a nobody.
Yeah.
This could be somebody that just knows how to manage money, or something. So I don't know. It's a mess, but they are owed. I think I don't. If there's a way to get that money early for them, where they can have a little bit of guaranteed money, or maybe with the incentives in their contracts, then maybe that can like alleviate some of that stuff. Instead of like, I don't like the fact that some of these guys just use their running backs and they're just like, oh, you're done. All right, cool, you're out. I just don't.
Right.
I don't like that formula. So.
Well, the rookies actually have a wage scale, so there's like a certain set. I think it was Matthew Stafford was the last one that got the huge, like 50
Yeah, they
million
got the
guaranteed.
huge money. Yeah.
But yeah, there's a rookie scale. So, like Bryce one got 41.2 million for being the number one overall pick.
Yeah, but those are quarterbacks too, though.
But like the league, Mr. Irrelevant this year will make $769,000.
Yeah, 750,000 is the minimum.
Yeah,
they have to at least get 750,000.
So yeah, if they can figure out an area there, and that it's like for their what's usually a rookie contract, 2 to 3 years.
Well, the first round is 4 with you could pick up the 5th-year option.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But everything else, like second and third rounders, I think are 4 years. So.
Okay. I mean, I don't see why they couldn't find an area there to just kind of have that, maybe again just again incentives or some way to work it. I don't know, but I bet you would get a lot more players like more motivated and ready to go do some stuff, and that might make it more competition. So that way, no matter what your rating is a running back, I mean, if you're not out there getting the job done, you get replaced real quick. So.
That, or they're just all going to grow up to be wide receivers now and quarterbacks.
That's true. Yes, kind of curious on that stuff too.
Maybe we'll just have offenses that are just fullback only.
Yeah.
What's going to be kind of crazy is if the league shifts again, it goes back to like a running back kind of league when all these guys kind of not necessarily go
Right.
away, but like say there certain breeds aren't back there anymore.
Be interesting
Because it's gonna do
for
that.
sure.
It's I mean
Yeah,
sports
it's
Yeah.
weird.
sports always
You
do.
know,
So
well, it's like back in the day, D tackles didn't make what they used to, and now they do.
yep.
Like guards, offensive guards. Hear about like Zach Martin's holding out from the
Yeah.
Cowboys. And he's one of the 99
He's
rated
99er,
on
dude.
Madden.
Yeah.
So shouldn't he be the top paid guard?
Did I catch a niner in there?
But I mean, safeties make more than running backs. Are safeties more important than running backs?
No, I mean, it's debatable. I don't know.
Again,
I mean,
I'd go with your particular franchise and what your scheme is. I mean, you say if that's on the Bills side, I'd say right now, yes, because they're more of a defensive heavy before they'll run the ball. I mean, if they want to run the ball, they'd have better running backs. I mean, no knock on Cook that's being there right now, but yeah, I mean they use the run the football for more Josh Allen's talents. So to them, they seem to value the defensive side, I think, more. You say Chicago? Chicago's a run first offense. They always will be. So they always have been, I should say. But I think it just varies. Sometimes, I don't necessarily think a safety or a cornerback is more valuable, so to say, than a running back. But if you get a shutdown corner, they can knock down, like take down or hold down a Justin Jefferson or a Tyreek Hill or something like that. Yeah, they should probably get some money. So,
All right. So, Ryan? What do you think the top paid positions in the league should be?
quarterback for sure, just because you got to know every single play, not just offense, but defense. You pretty much got to be able to read everything on the field at one time. You're the most scrutinized position. Um, pretty much, I used to not think they really earn their pay, but they probably do, honestly, as far as all the pressure they have on that position. I think, man, as much as people don't want to think, linemen are important, man.
yeah,
It's won and lost in the trenches,
Absolutely.
like that's an important
Absolutely.
position, man. You're nothing without a lineman. I could see, I look at Mahomes when they won last year. Juju was their number one guy, not really a Pro Bowler anymore. And then, Tony at receiver. They didn't really have just the best receivers. Their offensive line was great. Their defensive line was great. And that's one reason why I think they won. They had the best line on both sides of the ball. So, I would probably put that. I mean, maybe receiver. I see a lot. But then I see a lot of the better teams that win. I mean, receiver is not hugely important. It's you just got to have someone that can catch 80 balls a year for you, and you'll be fine. Man, I don't know. Defense still too. I don't know. I mean,
Corner.
linebacker, corner. Yeah. I mean, like you said, if you can shut someone down, but the way they scheme it now a lot, it takes away a lot of the deep ball. It doesn't always force the cornerbacks to play one on one. They give up a lot of short stuff, but the way teams are scheming the defenses now, it's not as as much as a one-on-one for the cornerback anymore. So, but I don't know, man. It's hard. Those are kind of what I feel are kind of at the top. So,
yeah.
I think you got to pay pass rusher. Go ahead, T.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, defensive line, no doubt. I don't really consider a lot of those guys we were calling outside like Brian Burns, defensive end, man. Call him a linebacker all you want, but he's 285, 290.
Right.
So, TJ Watt, I get it. Call him outside linebacker, okay, he'd probably consider himself a defensive end. So But yeah, it's the lines on both sides are hugely important.
Definitely
So
so. Definitely so. Yeah, I don't disagree with that any of that. I think the lines, the quarterback, of course. I mean, now that it's now that the league's evolved to where it kind of has. I mean, and I guess it's not necessarily that it's evolved into where it has, but the quarterback's usually been like the captain. They're kind of the ones that control the game. You know, I think for myself, I think they do actually deserve most of that money. Um, they're kind of the engine, but at the same time, there's multiple engines to it, and so if you don't have a great offensive line, you're not able to protect the quarterback. You're also not able to run the football. Um, so
right,
you're kind of in a one dimensional kind of offense, or how do you come back when you're down, three possessions or a 17 to nothing kind of scenario and stuff. So if you don't have that kind of stuff going on, or line protection, things like that, it'll get there. Same thing with the defensive line though. If you can't stop the run nor pressure that quarterback, then I mean you see an old Bill come into a game. If he knows he can run the ball on you, he's not letting you're
yeah,
not letting the quarterback touch that. He's gonna run that ball 3 times, pick up that first down, sit on that clock. So I think the linemen are important. I mean the linebackers. I think all of it eventually just bleeds into what would be the overall like team stuff, But yeah, I think those positions are. But again, it's tough to not put the running backs up there with say linemen and say one of your better protective cornerbacks and linebackers, But it's like they touch the ball a lot more than defensive players do. So, but yeah, I definitely don't disagree there though. I just feel bad for
well,
them.
the center, I will say the center does touch the ball on every offensive play.
It's
So
true.
you
It's
gonna pay
true.
your center as much,
says the former center in school, folks.
right?
Oh
I
man,
mean, he does.
That's that bias right there. I like
that's
that.
hilarious.
I get that. That's why. Yep. Well, speaking of, all right. So yeah, I think that's all. You guys have good points. I think left tackle is the key. You need to protect that franchise quarterback. Yeah,
Yeah,
you guys
True.
both right. Offensive line, defensive line, and then your quarterback. And then you add weapons, while on the rookie contract. But that left tackle, that's your blind side, that's your protector. So you pay a left
Right.
tackle, you pay the quarterback,
Right.
you pay like one like high skilled position player on offense.
Right.
And then defense, pass rusher, and corner. That's it. But I mean, it's like we're saying not pay these guys. These guys are still making good money.
Oh yeah.
Not
Oh yeah.
unfortunately, not with taxes and paying agents and stuff like that, they lose a good chunk. But still, if they're smart, they sit on it and they
They're
can.
multimillionaires
Yeah,
regardless.
yeah. I mean, you
They
think.
should be set for life as long as they got their finances in order.
Sure,
So
and if you come, now with NIL, you could come in already having some cash in the bank.
sure.
If you're a celeb, like I remember reading that when Saquon got drafted by the Giants, he hadn't even spent any of his rookie deal. He put it all in the bank
Yeah.
and just lived off his endorsements.
Oh yeah.
So I
Sure.
mean, plus you get to they're playing a game and could retire at 30, 32 and turn into Ricky
Yep.
Williams and be Aaron Rodgers, ayahuasca all the time.
yeah.
Right.
I mean, I think a lot of things is not necessarily these running backs that have come together and had this meeting or whatever, but I think a lot of people forget that these are kids. These are kids that make a lot of money, much like in the NBA and stuff. And if they don't have a good, like Ryan said, or even both y'all said about your financial stuff going on, I mean, they're just out there.
Yeah. Financial planning.
They're trying to go get all flashy and spend money when they don't need to and all this other stuff. And it's like, it's that's probably what makes some of those guys really reluctant to actually do those things, or pay contracts and stuff, or give them guaranteed money, because once they get the money, they come perform. So it's just it's tough to trust them kids like that, and some of them act up, but I know the NFL is different, but when it comes to that stuff, it's like, especially spending money, it's hard to look at someone and be like, man, you spent $5 million in a year, like, what are you doing? So
Yeah.
that's I think it's a very good point. If they get some of that money and they do what's right with it, they'll be fine. They'll be just fine, probably for the rest of their lives. But I think I can't say it's greed, but I think there is an area of underappreciation for those running backs. I honestly do. So
Sure.
but
Definitely. Well, I mean, how do you think you would have handled that much money at that age?
I wouldn't have been good with it.
Oh yeah.
Hell, even
Yeah.
even at this age now, it's like, I mean, I would think that I would, if I had some kind of money like that, I would look right over to someone and pay them to make sure that I would never fuck up. So yeah, exactly.
And the thing is, I would say all these leagues, they give them tools to financially plan.
Mm-hmm.
They have classes on it.
Classes
They
and
have
all that
veteran
stuff.
players that come in and talk to them. They have players on their team that advise them, that tell them, say, look, plan for your future, know what to do. And you see the really good players do that. You see them plan and know that they're going to be set for a long time. That they can get by with, oh, I only got paid $5 million, this year, and blah blah blah. And well, you can live a pretty good life off $5 million even still
Sure.
today. And
Right.
and you make that for a year, and that's a pretty good yearly take. So, I think it's all up to them too, how mature they are, and how much they're willing to take the advice from all the tools they're given. You can only do so much for people before they have to own up to it.
Sure.
So,
That's
For
true.
sure.
it's on
Very true.
them. It's on them too,
And again, I'm not talking
So,
about these more veteran running backs, these guys that come together as a meeting. I'm not referring to them.
sure.
They've all proven themselves and then some. And so I understand completely where they're coming from. I just, it's just one of those. There's got to be a way to kind of not necessarily make everyone happy. I don't want to say that, but they shouldn't just be looked as, well, man, you're going to be our workhorse for the next 3 years, and if you don't get, after that, you out. I mean, that's just it's a crappy way of looking at it. So I understand where some of these people come from. Like, I get it. And again,
Yeah.
it's kids. There's a lot of young kids, so it's maybe some of that area can be checked. Maybe there's some financial backing that the owners and stuff can do to make sure these guys, like, can have some of that, know how to spend their money.
Sure. Plus, I think what these running backs are doing now is they're also looking out for the future running backs.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Running
Absolutely.
back brotherhood. So, which, I mean, it sucks that basically none of this is really going to come. Anything's going to come of it, unfortunately.
Right.
I guess we'll see. But maybe back in the day when quarterbacks started signing for 20 million, everybody started freaking out, and now it's 50, 60 million coming up.
Right.
So, but that'll be a topic for another day. So,
See, and you think Otani's gonna get overpaid? I mean, the quarterbacks are getting 50 million, 55 million for playing how many games? 17.
yeah.
Otani's playing 162, man,
Plus,
or probably 150 games a year,
A little bit more
and
physical.
and he's pitching in 30 of them.
A
So
little bit more physical sport on this, but at the same time,
true.
I do see your
every
point
day
there.
with
I do
baseball.
see your point there.
Baseball's every
So-
day.
It's a
So,
grind.
I don't know. But
Yeah.
I don't know. So,
All right.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this edition of the Real Tree Shaker Show. We want to thank you all for joining.
Thank you for letting us break the branches.
Yes. Thank you. For shaking trees.
Knock your leaves off you.
That's
Thanks
right.
for tuning in.
And
Hopefully,
use that
entertained
dust.
someone and made someone laugh. 2 goals there.
Use that dust to blow sunflower seeds off that person in front of you at the ball
Yes.
game.
Never be afraid to be someone's personal fan.
That's awesome. All right. Well, thanks everybody for listening. We'll see you next time.
Yes.
Peace out.
Good night.
Peace.
Peace and love.